Dear viewers, in this session we will discuss about open educational resources, that is called OER. So this is the logo of OER, that is Open Education Resources. So first let us discuss what is OER, the definition from the OER Commons. So open educational resources are teaching and learning materials that one can freely use and reuse at no cost and without needing to ask any permission from the creators or authors. Unlike the copyright resources, the OER have been authored or created by an individual or organization that chooses to retain few, if any, or ownership rights. So this is a definition for the open educational resources by OER Commons. Coming to the another definition by the Commonwealth of Learning COL, the COL defines like open educational resources are materials offered freely and openly to use and adapt for teaching, learning, development and research purpose, that anyone can, any student or researcher or the educators can use the material with openly use or adapt for the teaching learning purpose. The MIT is announced the open courseware initiatives in 2001. In 2001, MIT initiated to publish the university course for free public access for non-commercial purpose, and an example of commitment at the institutional level encourage the similar projects and leading the MIT brand to the movement. So that's why the MIT has initiated the open courseware, and the OER is coined at UNESCO 2002 forum on impact of open courseware for higher education in developing countries, or designated teaching, learning and research material in any medium, digital or otherwise, that reside in a public domain or have been released under any open license that permit no cost access, use, adaptation and redistribution by others with no or limited restriction. This is the UNESCO definition on OER, which is commonly where we are using, and we follow this definition to use the OER or create the OER for the use of teaching learning. In 2007, Cape Town Open Education Declaration happened. In that declaration, open education is not limited to just open educational resources. It also draws upon open technologies that facilitate collaborative, flexible learning and the open sharing of teaching practices that empower educators to benefit them for the best idea of their colleagues. It may also grow to include new approaches to assessment, accreditation and the collaborative learning. Here they have included the open technology also. If somebody is creating any open tool, open educational tool or open tool to use some activities, like for example assessment tool for which is open source. So that can also declare as a open educational tools and open educational resources and open tools for teaching learning purpose or otherwise to create the other activity in collaborative way. Coming to the OER initiative in 2009, Declaration on Open Educational Resources. After that, in 2011, Commonwealth of Learning and UNESCO guidelines on open educational resources in higher education were created. In 2012, Paris Open Educational Declaration happened. In this declaration, they have initiated or they have come across what the OER should be. The first one is foster the awareness among the colleagues or among the users to use the OER. So, first of all, the user should, that means the teachers or educational community and the students should aware about the open educational resources. So, awareness should be created and very fastly they have to create the awareness to use the OER. First of all, if they know about how to use the OER, then only it will come to the creation and others adaptation will happen. So, awareness is must in. So, in 2012 the declaration was first initiation should be the awareness among the faculty, and secondly facilitate the enabling environment for use of ICT, because the OER will be available on the open educational or open access platform. So, if it is available on the open access platform, then the faculty or teaching community or the student community know the environment and know the use of ICT, how it can be used. And thirdly, that reinforce the development of strategies and policy on OER. So, the OER in 2012 declaration that institutions should have the strategy and policy to use or adapt the OER. So, it should be a reinforcement to development of the strategy to use the OER, and then promote the understanding and use of open licensing frameworks. So, one should know about what is open educational licensing, how to use. So, they should have a understanding about the open licensing. There should be a support of capacity building for sustainable development for the quality learning material. So, among the faculty there should be a capacity building to know about, to give the training to use of the OER and how to search the OER, how to use the OER in their own discipline and their own learning community. So, there should be a support to build the capacity building for the sustainable development of open educational resources. Then foster the strategic alliance of the OER, that means there should be a how to use the collaborative way of OER usage, and encourage the development and adaptation of OER in the variety of languages and cultural context. Because in globe, if you are seeing that in the world there are many languages they are using. So, teaching learning happens in their own mother tongue in the regional language, as well as there are a lot of cultural differences all there. The learning material should be developed using their own language and the cultural. So, the building up of lot of content in the various language and the cultural context is very important. And encouraging the researching on OER, because research is a must to develop the OER, how they are using, what will be the usage, and then how the learners or the teacher have the understanding about the OER. This is very important. So, institutional research is very important to promote OER and facilitate the finding and retrieving and the sharing of OER. So, now if anybody have the OER content, there should be a sharing, then only the other will be use the OER content. So, finding the OER and retrieving the OER is very important when we are working on OER, that is open educational resources. And encouraging the open licensing for educational material produced with the public fund. If any fund is using, the public fund, institutional fund is using to develop educational material, then that the copyrights will be with that particular institution. The institution should come forward to provide the open licensing for their institution, then only the finding and sharing will be happen. So, if the material is protected with the copyrighted protected, then the sharing and using will be very difficult, because the material will be bound in the copyright issue. So, when the university or institution declare their content as a open licensing, then that institution or the others can use the OER effectively. In 2017, Second World OER Congress happened in the Slovenian country. In that they have declared that the OER for inclusive for the quality education, and then they have declared that government should have used the OER for their teaching learning process. So, in that OER action plan, it happened in 2017, there are around 111 countries are participated in that particular OER action plan. 41 recommended the actions to mainstream open license resources. In 2030, Sustainable Development Goal 4 on quality and lifelong learning should be adopted in that particular action plan. And 5 strategic areas mainly, building the capacity for user to find, reuse, create and share the OER, because as I mentioned that capacity building is very important, awareness should be given to the user, and then there is the training should be given to the user to find and reuse, create and sharing the OER. Language and cultural issues should be taken care while creating or adapting the OER. Ensuring the inclusive and equal access to the quality OER, and developing the sustainability models and developing the supportive policy environment. So, these are the important action plan happen in that particular OER declaration. And then coming to the OER, in that particular declaration, they have mentioned that the OER should be followed that in the 5 R's of OER should be using. So, what are the 5 conditions that one can use or the OER should have? There are reuse, revise and remix, redistribute and retain. So, reuse, how we can reuse the OER content? That means they can use the content in its unaltered form. That means if the content is declared as a OER, then the content can be used as it is without altering the form. If suppose this particular PowerPoint presentation which I am using it, if I declare this as a OER content, then anybody can take this PowerPoint presentation and use their own teaching learning process without altering the form. That means without altering this PPT, that is called as a reuse. What will be the revise? The revise is that content can be adapt, adjust, modify, improve or alter the content. So, revise the content is revising the OER, means the OER content can be adapted and adjust. For example, if this PPT can be modified in a different color or different font size, and depends on the user requirement, they can modify and alter also. Maybe they can include 3-4 slides or removing 3-4 slides and making into the new content. So, that is called as a revise. Remixing, that means combination of combining the original or revising the content with other OER to create some new OER content. That means you are mixing with the other content and make it as a something new OER content. It will happen mainly in the, for example, in the audio content. If the audio content may be included with the different background music or otherwise different voice, and they can provide with the bass music along with the content, that can be a remixing with the content. So, similarly, one is if this PowerPoint is happen, for example this PowerPoint, then one can take the material from other PowerPoint and make as a new one. So, that is called as a remixing. The redistribution means that sharing the copies of the original content, revised content or remixed content with others. So I am giving the permission to share this PowerPoint presentation to all the student whoever wants to use this one. So the one can distribute the content with the copies of the content to the people who can use the OER for their teaching learning process. And retaining is that keep the access to the material for learning event. Whenever it is happening, that material can be used. For example, this semester I can use the same PPTs and I can reserve for it, and next semester also I can use the PPT for. So one can keep the OER for their remaining use, and then they can use it for their own teaching learning process. And OER can be a full course or images or otherwise lecture note and review and syllabus, and maybe it's a learning lesson, lab plannings, assessment, discussion, audio component, video component, text material, training material, and so on and so forth. So these material are associated with the teaching learning material. So OER could be any material associated with the teaching learning process. And some OER initiative is happened. They have taken some OER initiative which are MIT Open Courseware initiatives, OER Africa, OER Asia, Open University, that is called Open Learn, JISC for funded 3 phase of project in this area in UK, and also there are many national repository for teaching learning process in which have the repository of the OER repository. For example, that open educational courseware which is created by MIT, so which is available in this particular site, that is ocw.mit.edu. So they have declared some of the courses as a OER, because getting into the MIT with have a student or teachers will have a high eligibility criteria to participate in that particular institution. So in order to know about that what are the lectures going on, one can able to get the experience of the eminent academics available in either MIT University or in MIT institution. So in that one can learn this content through the open education which are available in this particular website. So open to this particular site, and we can find many open educational courses, course materials are available for use. And after that OER Africa was created to understand and open education resources, open education courseware, case studies, policies, researchers are available in that particular platform. One can open the site and then see that content, and also they will have the what is happening in the OER in the higher education in African countries. They have collected and in that particular they have categorically maintained these OER related documents, and also research material, course materials are available in this particular. So they keep on updating this what is happening in this OER, and also they will go into this the major initiative, the major guideline providers such as UNESCO, COL, and all the details are available in this particular site. And TEST Africa is called as a teacher education in Sub-Saharan Asia. So it is called a teacher education Sub-Saharan Asia, TESHA. They also have the educational resources for the teachers, for the school children, and the materials are maintained in that particular site. So for school education details are available which are declared as a OER material. So for school education the subject like English, Maths and social science and other materials are available here. They have declared as open educational resources, so one can able to use this material for access the material for the teaching learning. at school level. And in the country Afghanistan also having the OER material. There is an organization which is called as a Canadian Women for Women in Afghanistan. So they have created the one particular this Dection Dinesh. This site, they have built up the school education level the content, and also they are building up the OER content, OER access, open library to access the content for school level, which is called as a knowledge tree. They have called as a knowledge tree with this Dection Dinesh. So there is a library where all the African women can able to access the content, as we know that there is they have a educational getting the education in this women candidate will have a limited there is a limitation. So this organization, that is a Canadian Women in Afghan, so they have created this particular OER content, and they have researched also how to use the OER for the school education, and then they have provided the capacity building training to the teachers to know about OER, how to use the OER, and for their teaching process, and also for the student also they have given the this particular library to use the OER content. And open course library, which have the lot of open course content is available, and also they will have a how to use the guidance also available in this particular website to use the open content. And this open course library have the course to view. You can view the subject wise course, and also you can download the content to use it. So these are the open access content are available in this particular thing. For example, the module 1, the psychology as a science, you can able to open the first module, say the week 1 lecture and how to use it, and multiple choice quiz also available. So one can open and use this content for their teaching learning process. As I mentioned that this is a open educational resources which can be openly accessed for the teaching learning purpose with a limited or no cost environment. So with limited access, or otherwise we can give the credit to the author, then we can use it. There is no need to get the copyright permission from the author. So that is why the OER is available. And another site, very interesting site, is OERcommon.org. In this particular site, one can explore, create and collaborate. That is their motto for this particular OER content. So here you can explore the various digital library which is available here, various resources, and also for the different subject wise one can use it, and also you can create also. I also experienced and I have created some of the OER content and available on this particular website. So in this one can able to search the content subject wise area, and also grade wise also you can search for the material, open educational material. And here very interestingly one can able to see that, but suppose if we can find some content, the content is rated also. We can see that highly rated content, and the subject wise, and for example the level, which level we can use it, this the content can be used for the level and also rating and also subject, and the title, who produced this content and how can be used this content. These are the information are available here. So one can search for it and then use it, the content for their institution or for that student. So this is the content available in this particular website. So one can give the comments also for improvement, and you can give the rating. That's why one can able to, the whenever we are searching for our content, so one can easily find out, okay, this is the level of the content, I can use it for my own student level, or otherwise I can this material can be used for this, and you can provide the content, you can include these are the things. So author can modify it based on the comments or based on the review. So that is why the site is maintaining in there. And coming to the another website, which is called the Commonwealth of Learning, who is working on this OER and along with the UNESCO. So they also having the very good repository, OER repository. So Commonwealth of Learning repository, there one can find the variety of material here, and the subject wise, content wise, workshop wise, and training material, reading material, book which can be declared as a OER, all the material are available in this particular site. And coming to the Open Educational Consortium, that global networking for open education, they have a Open Education Consortium website is available, where all the happening, what is happening there, all available in this one. For example, OER declaration and OER Congress and OER training, and all the details are available in this particular website. This is the one is Open Educational Week were conducted in this 2020. One survey was conducted on this teaching material in US higher educational 2018. So nearly 50% of the awareness of open educational resources in comparing to the 2016, only 25%. Yeah. So there are another website which maintain these open educational weeks, where they have collected what are the open educational training material, trainings, or otherwise the workshops were conducted happen in this particular website. Coming to the OER initiative at India, so we can see this, there are a lot of OER initiatives happen in India also. Some of the OER initiatives are NPTEL, NROER, Project Oscar at IIT Bombay, and Open Educational Resources for Schools that HomiBaba Centre for Science Education has created, NIOS OER, TESS India, and KROER, that means KOER, which is called as a Karnataka OER. So this is the website where you can see this open educational national program on technology enhanced learning, that is NPTEL. So where you can find these, all the engineering materials are available in this particular NPTEL. And National Repository for OER, this is a NCERT material for school children. So school education materials are declared in this particular website. And this Indian Institution of Technology, that is IIT Bombay, has created the Open Oscar, where you can find this open educational material in this site. They have declared some of the OER material. And Open Educational Resources for School, that means OER for School, HomiBaba Centre, they have created. You can able to see the school material which is declared as a OER for in the school education. And National Institute for Open Schooling, they have also created the website and for maintaining these course material as a OER. Coming to the Karnataka Open Educational Resources, in Karnataka state also created Open Educational Resources site. One can able to see the school level of material here. This teacher education, they also created the open educational resources for teacher educational one, and Commonwealth Educational Media Centre for Asia, they also declared this OER content which is available in their particular site. COL also has a awareness program, the short online course for understanding OER is created by Commonwealth of Learning. So one can register for this and go through this content as understanding education resources, and after going through the content, getting the getting this assessment and all, one can get the free certification on understanding open educational resources. So why and how can use this OER, why we have to use this OER? That open educational resources can be used to enhance an existing the course by adding the OER, to improve the existing material by replacing it with open educational resources, to create a new part of the material by using or repurposing the OER, to create new courses by using, reusing and repurposing open educational resources, motivate the faculty to contribute to OER and involve student to generate OER and also involve faculty to generate OER. The open educational resource material can be used to for this purpose. So, in this video we have learnt about the definition of the OER and how to use the OER and various websites and various repository where the OER are available, and also we come to know that what are the initiatives happen in worldwide on OER. Thank you.